Breaking news right now, a woman with a gun arrested near the White House as the president addressed the nation.
President Obama acts without Congress to lay out some sweeping changes to our country's immigration policies. I'm Andrea McCarran at the White House. I'll have a report coming up.
Also breaking tonight, Marion buried in the hospital again.
We're going to finish the week on an Arctic note. Temperatures 20 degrees below average, but some good news. The weekend, warmer air is on the way. We'll tell you what that means for your Saturday and Sunday forecast.
And we begin with breaking news from the White House. A woman with a gun in custody after an incident near the White House. I'm Jan Jeffcoat.
And I'm Derek McGinty. She was arrested shortly after President Obama addressed the nation. Mola Lange is live outside the White House. So Mola, what do we know about this woman?
Well, Derek, it was around 8:30 tonight when the Secret Service spotted a woman walking along the north fence line here of the White House. A Secret Service spokesman tells CBS News that special agents spotted a 9mm gun in a holster around the woman's waist. That's when she was arrested. As you mentioned, President Obama was home here at the White House at the time of that arrest, just finishing up his address to the nation on immigration. Now, the woman is identified as 23-year-old April Lenhart of Michigan. Now, as you know, this comes just one day after an Iowa man was arrested around the White House when a rifle and ammunition were found in his car. Also, 2 fence jumpers in the last few months. One, as you probably remember, who actually made it inside the White House, through the front door and inside to the White House before he was finally arrested. Certainly an embarrassment for the Secret Service. They caught some heat for that breakdown, and since then they say they have been increasingly vigilant. Now, the woman arrested tonight is currently in police custody where she is being questioned. Live at the White House, I'm Mola Lange for WUSA 9.
All right, Mola, thank you. And tonight, a step toward fixing our broken immigration system, but is it the right step?
The president, in a legacy-defining move, defying the GOP and protecting millions of undocumented immigrants. He addressed the nation outlining his plan for immigration on his own terms. Andrea McCarran at the White House tonight for the president's speech.
President Obama made it clear this is not a free pass to citizenship for undocumented immigrants in this country. Simply put, he said felons will be deported, families will get temporary relief.
Obama, escucha!
Outside the White House, undocumented immigrants from the D.C. area watched President Obama's national address intently.
11 million immigrants in this country were waiting, suffering. Every day they've been deported. Now they have a future.
The demonstrators are among the 5 million immigrants living in this country illegally who stand to benefit the most from the president's executive action.
If you've been in America for more than 5 years, if you have children who are American citizens or legal residents, if you register, pass a criminal background check, and you're willing to pay your fair share of taxes, you'll be able to apply to stay in this country temporarily without fear of deportation.
The president said anyone who's a suspected terrorist, a violent criminal, a gang member, or a recent border crosser will be a top priority for deportation.
Felons, not families. Criminals, not children. Gang members, not a mom who's working hard to provide for her kids.
The president said to those in Congress who questioned the wisdom of his action, he has one response: pass a bill. He did say he hopes to work with both parties to forge a debate that focuses on hopes, not fears. At the White House, Andrea McCarran, WUSA 9.
Some of those demonstrators outside the White House are part of Casa de Maryland, a local immigration advocacy group. They hosted a watch party on both Lafayette Park and Hyattsville. And tonight's speech spoke to some of those people who are directly involved in this issue.
The president did make some big promises, and he urged lawmakers to put pen to paper. Our Jim Osmond is live in Hyattsville, where that Casa de Maryland watch party and the rally just wrapped up. Jim?
Hi, Derek. The president's speech will have a direct impact on the lives of the folks we saw tonight in Hyattsville. Organizers with the immigrant rights group Casa de Maryland handed out American flags just moments before President Obama's speech was piped into this packed room in Hyattsville. The president's executive action will impact people like Marcela Campos.
It's affected me directly because my status in this country is not legal right now, and I'm a mother of a USA citizen, children 2 years old. So it means much to me, for me, because now I won't be afraid.
Jose Pina reacted moments after snapping a family photo post-presidential speech. We communicated with the help of a translator.
He said, honestly, initially I'm just speechless. I'm without words. And secondly, it's just overwhelming to think that I finally have an opportunity to come out of the shadows.
But there are two sides to every story, as we know, and while the faces in this room eagerly awaited and just as eagerly embraced the president's announcement, there remain questions. What would you say to the folks? I guess there are folks that say the president's being heavy-handed, is overstepping his bounds, and should wait for Congress to act.
Well, I think President Obama is just doing something that's been done so many times in history, notably by President Reagan, President Bush, in using his executive authority.
The folks we spoke to tonight say they wish the president could do more, but there again are the limits of executive authority. Reporting live in Hyattsville, Jim Osman, WUSA 9.
Meantime, Republicans say the president is ignoring voters who just handed the GOP control of Congress. They're vowing to fight the president's plan.
Make no mistake, when the newly elected representatives of the people take their seats, they will act.
Some 11 million immigrants are in the U.S. illegally, and the president's action would cover about 5 million.
How's he explain that to the 6 million people who see now these 5 million getting preferential treatment? And how in the world do you explain it to people who have waited patiently year after year, trying to do it the right way?
Well, at this point, the president's actions do not create a path to citizenship, and all of them are temporary.
Well, D.C. Councilmember Marion Barry is in the hospital tonight. The former mayor tells our Bruce Johnson that he wasn't feeling so well earlier this evening, and he had his driver take him over to Howard University Hospital. And that's where he is right now. They are keeping him overnight for observation. Barry, who is 78 years old, suffers from diabetes and has had a kidney transplant.
An old station wagon might be the key to finally solving the disappearance of the Lyon sisters, but first, police have to find it. Sheila and Catherine Lyon vanished during a trip to a Wheaton shopping center way back in 1975. Now, investigators believe a 1960s or 70s station wagon might have been used in the girls' abduction. Over the past few months, police have named Lloyd Lee Welch and his uncle Richard Allen Welch as persons of interest in the case, and they've searched an area in Bedford, Virginia, where the family owned property. Vandals targeted a UVA fraternity house one day after Rolling Stone published an article detailing an alleged gang rape at the house in 2012. That fraternity, Phi Kappa Psi, has now suspended all activities, and the university has asked Charlottesville police to investigate. In the article, a student named Jackie says she was gang raped during a frat party and that friends and a university dean later discouraged her from going to police.
A former student is the gunman behind today's Florida State University campus shooting. Police say 31-year-old Myron May graduated back in 2005 but came back to the school early this morning where he shot and injured 3 people in the library. Cell phone video shows the students just moments after the gunman opened fire. Police fatally shot May after he refused to drop that gun. Police records show that the shooter had a history of mental illness. Investigators are still working on a motive. 2 students are still in the hospital tonight.
Lawmakers took a closer look at cyber threats facing the United States today. Members of the Intelligence Committee grilled the director of the National Security Agency, with the majority of the discussion focusing on information sharing and the cyber challenges our nation needs to overcome.
I don't think there should be any doubt in anybody's mind that the cyber challenges we're talking about are not theoretical. This is something real that is impacting our nation and those of our allies and friends every day. And it is doing it in a meaningful way that is literally costing us hundreds of billions of dollars, that is leading to a reduced sense of security, and that has the potential to lead to some truly significant, almost catastrophic failures if we don't take action.
The hearing comes days after the Senate killed a bill that would curb the NSA's mass collections of phone and internet records. A warning tonight, Russian hackers are getting into private webcams all over the world, including right here in Virginia, and posting what they are seeing live on the web. They even hacked into built-in cameras on baby monitors, like this one in Virginia. The Russian website lists the exact GPS coordinates of each camera, complete with a map. Well, the website claims it's legal because they've hacked into cameras where the owners did not change the default password. Wow. A former FBI assistant director says there is not much the U.S. government can do about a Russian website except hope for for cooperation.
And if that doesn't scare you, well, this sure is gonna. The head of the National Security Agency told Congress today China and probably a couple of other countries have the capacity to shut down America's power grid via some sort of cyber attack. Admiral Michael Rogers says it's a matter of when, not if, something like this is going to happen. Rogers said they've already detected malware from China on U.S. computer systems that would let the hackers shut down segmented parts of our infrastructure. Western New York is still buried tonight as forecasters are predicting even more snow in that area. The roofs began to creak and collapse under the weight of all that snow today as yet another storm brought Buffalo's snowfall total to a record high 6 feet, 72 inches. And if the forecast holds, that's more than a year's worth of snow in just 3 days. But those extreme conditions have led to tragedy as well. At least 10 people have died in and around Buffalo, and others have been trapped in their homes by the snow drifts. At least our Arctic air is not coming with snow. Right, Top?
Yeah, I guess that's a small consolation, but the Arctic air is rolling in now. We'll come back, talk about how cold it's going to be tomorrow. That includes high school football playoffs, but there is some light at the end of the tunnel. We'll explain.
And all the snow is displacing Buffalo's home football team, but could this Arctic blast interrupt the NFL season?
The league steps in and says, not on our watch, where the Bills will end up playing Monday night. That's next. And if you crack the retail code, well, you could win big this holiday shopping season. We're going to tell you how right after the break.
You stand in long lines and form battle plans to execute your Black Friday shopping strategy. At least I do. I know you do.
No,
but there may be a different way to help you score a deal.
Grab your pen, score some paper, get ready to crack the code with Leslie Foster.
It's that familiar shopping shuffle. The holidays are just around the corner, and the mad dash to get the perfect gift is already underway.
Well, I usually start in the summer, and I like to be done before Thanksgiving.
Well, I kind of know what I want when I come out looking.
But what you see on the price tag may not tell its full story.
Did you know there's a way to crack the code at different stores you go to get a good deal?
No, I didn't. You have to share that.
For answers, we turn to savings guru and rather be shopping blogger Kyle James. He says there is a better way to get to the real deals. We start with Target.
Let's say you have a bunch of an item that you like that's it's at 15% off. Well, the Target employee told me that every 7 to 10 days they will do their markdown.
The key is to look for the sticker on clearance items with a small number in the corner. That's the discount. Target cuts its sale items by 15, 30, 50, 70, up to 90% off.
So, if you're shopping early in December or, even Black Friday and they have a ton of something, if you wait and come back, it's going to get cheaper.
At Old Navy or Gap, Kyle says if the price ends in 47, 49, 97, or 99, it's a discounted or clearance price.
We're famous for having these great Black Friday clearance, either coupons or site-wide sales. So if you go in there on Black Friday or that Black Friday weekend, you can save like 70, 80%.
If it's office supplies you need, Kyle says you can rack up the savings at Office Depot. That's where they do 4 different markdowns. Prices ending in 1, like 01 or 31, that's the first discount. Ends in 2, that's the second. 3, the third, and 4 is the final clearance price.
So what do you tell people who say, you know what, this is just a little too much work?
If you like paying full price, then, don't do the work. But the cool thing about this is it doesn't take much time.
You may not enjoy the extra work around holiday shopping, but everyone enjoys saving money. Leslie Foster, WUSA 9.
And you see this here? This is your golden tickets to savings. It's a cheat sheet. It's got all 15 different stores, cracking the code. Way too small for me to read without my glasses. But you don't even have to print it out because it's right here on our WUSA 9 app. All for the taking.
I'll take that. All right, driving you crazy, the madness of traveling over Thanksgiving. AAA says lower gas prices will fuel a surge in Thanksgiving travel next week. The agency predicts more than 46 million Americans will head out for the holiday, including more than 1 million from right here in our neck of the woods. Now, here's a tip if you want to avoid the crush. AAA says the busiest travel days will be the Wednesday before Thanksgiving and the Sunday after it. So if you can, plan around it. All right, were you planning to fly to Buffalo this week?
I sure hope not. Good grief.
I feel really horrible for you. And you know what? The airlines feel your pain as well. Because with all that snow falling, the nation's big airlines are waiving fees to change travel plans. That goes for passengers ticketed to fly to Buffalo or to airports in other Great Lakes regions. Like most flights in Buffalo were canceled today, and many have already been canceled for tomorrow.
Always watching, always tracking. WUSA 9's First Alert Weather.
If Grandma lives in Buffalo, you got to get there. You got to figure out something. You know, around here, it felt like springtime today, and even was only in the 50s.
Let's not get crazy now. I don't know about spring.
It really felt good, though.
It did. It felt fantastic. But now we're going to go kind of back into the old Arctic freezer for just a while, short-lived, and then a little good news over the weekend. 56, by the way, was the high today. Average is 57, pretty close to that. All right, let's take a live look outside. It's our live Michael and Son weather cam. It's getting cold now. 39 downtown. Look at the dew point. Humidity only 33%. Look at the winds, northwest at 21. So we're going to see winds tonight and tomorrow, anywhere from 10 to 20, and that's going to keep wind chills in the teens in the early morning and in the 20s throughout the day tomorrow. Okay, we were average just for one day. Well, it was nice while it lasted, I suppose. Okay, 38 on Wednesday, 56 today. We're back to 37 tomorrow, and we're kind of in between warm and cold on Saturday. We're back up to about 49. Average is 57, so we were pretty close today. So another cold and breezy start tomorrow. Bus stop temperatures 21 to 32. Those are straight temps. Those are not wind chills. So if you're walking the kids at a bus stop tomorrow, hat, gloves, coat, the whole 9 yards for the kids too. In fact, dress for the teens and 20s for high school football if your high school is lucky enough to be in the playoffs. Of course, we have highlights this time tomorrow. Temperatures go up over the weekend, and they really dramatically go up next week. So 6 o'clock in the morning, temperatures in the 20s across the board, wind chills in the teens. By 8 o'clock, we're still in the 20s. Okay, maybe 30 downtown, but essentially in the 20s. By 1 o'clock, it'll be a brisk walk to lunch. You can do it. Pure sunshine tomorrow, but breezy with temps in the low to mid 30s. That's it. And then by 4 o'clock, we're maybe 33 in Leesburg, maybe 35 in Manassas. Trying to struggle to get to 35 in La Plata and also downtown. And then look what happens. By 6 p.m., temperatures already in the 20s in the suburbs. We have calm winds tomorrow and clear skies and a dry air mass, and it's going to be another cold night. Not record-setting, I don't think, but some kind of cold tomorrow night. By 8 o'clock, low 30s downtown. Throw that out. Everybody else is in the 20s. Just get ready for the 20s by early evening. And then walking the dog late. I think these numbers are too high. I think we're going to be in the low 20s in Gaithersburg and Leesburg and Manassas and certainly Culpeper by this time tomorrow night, and certainly by the midnight hour, 1 a.m. So overnight, clear, breezy, very cold, lows in the 20s, winds northwest at 10 to 15, and a little bit gusty. By morning, bright. It'll look great until you step outside. Mostly sunny, wind chills in the teens, temperatures 21 to 34, and then by afternoon, mostly sunny, breezy, and cold. Only 34 to 39. Grab a coat, gloves, hat, the whole 9 yards. Okay, day planner. By 9 o'clock, we're back up to 31. Remember, these are city temps. 34 at 11 and 36 at 1 o'clock. Pretty much pure sun tomorrow. Improving on Saturday. I want to put 50, just can't quite do it. We'll put 49. Late showers on Sunday, but the morning, pretty good for church, bike ride, whatever, a little round of golf. Temperature by then will be in the upper 50s. Look what happens on Monday. That is the day. Returning partly cloudy, highs around 70, and then they start going back down. Mid-50s on Tuesday, Wednesday back in the 40s. Turkey Day, we're in the low 40s, and I'll keep that snowflake in there. Flurry possible north and west of town. Good news, Tuesday and Wednesday both look like quiet travel days across most of the country.
Good. So, are we going to have football in Landover on Sunday?
No, we're not. No, we're not. I mean, what we're going to have, no, the Redskins are going to be in, I was going to say we might have some winning football, but no, we're not. No, I was trying to figure out something to say there, but no, we are not. Earlier this evening, Bills-Jets, 9 Sports confirming that the game will indeed be played in Detroit on Monday night at 7 o'clock. The game could have been played on Sunday, but the Bills haven't been able to practice, so the league gave them an extra day to prepare. Again, Ford Field closest to where they were going to play. That's why they're picking Ford Field. Ford Field in Detroit hosted Vikings-Giants in 2010 when heavy snow collapsed the roof at the old Metrodome. Tickets were free then. The league hasn't released ticket policies for this game yet, but you would expect it to be a free game as well. So we got a lot coming up certainly there. We're also talking about some basketball. Gang, tomorrow this city going to be buzzing because the NBA's biggest star will be there. The Wizards prepping for the King and the Cavs. Time to measure up against one of the beasts of the East. We'll be right back.
Now, WUSA 9 Game On Sports with Dave Owens. Brought to you by Xfinity.
All right, I'm not one to get ahead of myself, but 10 games in, I'd say it's time for a little temperature check. Wizards v. Cavs. Washington won't admit it, but they'd like to see how they measure up against LeBron and the consensus beasts in the East. Thus far, D.C. has been rising and feasting on weaker opponents. John Wall star status, and Bradley Beal, he's back too. Now, any game against LeBron is big, but listen to Coach Randy Whitman. This is a guy who doesn't believe in summoning special efforts for certain teams.
You want to put your best foot forward every night. Not because you're playing on the national stage or you're playing against Cleveland or you're playing against Dallas. That's how you accumulate over 82 games a chance to be in a position to do more and grow more as a team.
All right, so Randy says it's not special, but this is special. Wizards players taking their day off to help local kids in need. The master of the assists, John Wall, dishing out Thanksgiving goodies to kids at John Ketchum Elementary in Southeast. He wasn't alone. His running mate Bradley Beal was there too. You know, approximately 30% of the students at Ketchum are homeless.
It's just an opportunity for us to just show them that we care about this city and that we're trying to bring something to a lot of people's attention that not a lot of families actually eat out here.
It means a lot because some people are unfortunate. They can't go out and afford Thanksgiving in the middle of the month, so it's a blessing for them. So I'm grateful and appreciative that they came out to help us out today.
Yeah, that truly is a blessing. Awesome stuff. George Mason, West Virginia. You know when you're in Puerto Rico, you can wear the polo shirt. There's Paul Hewitt. Patrick Holloway says, it's all in the wrist. Look at him dropping like it's hot. He had 17, but oh, those West Virginia Mounties, they play defense like a bunch of rabid dogs. Javon Carter up and away. Mountaineers roll by 26 tonight. Some Thursday night football. It's senior night in Morgantown. Oh, you get to hug the coach and point to your parents, and then you get your head knocked off by Kansas State. Kansas State's Jake Waters. Rename him Jake Rivers. Jake Lake. He threw for a career-high 400 yards. And then Tyler Lockett. Boy, he's a rocket, a bottle rocket. Tyler Lockett, the bottle rocket. 43 yards. West Virginia loses 26-20. Some hockey, shall we? Capitals at the Avalanche. This one going into the third period. Alex Ovechkin has been in a scoring slump. No more. Hit me with your best shot. Fire away. Alex Ovechkin with the score. They win tonight. All right, finally, we have time for this. Guys, funniest thing you're going to see all day. Russian table tennis youth championships. Now, the kid nearest to you is going to win, and then he's obviously upset. Obviously upset with the little kid judge there. Look at that. Tough times in the Russian table tennis championship. Yeah, he just pushes the kid over.
Is that John McEnroe Jr.?
Yeah, exactly. The Russian version. The Russian
John
version.
McEnroe.
I like that. McEnroe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We got to take a break.
There you go.
Breaking news tonight out of Ferguson, Missouri. CNN reporting that Ferguson police officer Darren Wilson is in the final stages of negotiations to resign, and it might even happen tomorrow. The grand jury is considering whether or not to indict Wilson in the shooting death of Michael Brown last August. Wilson has always maintained he did nothing wrong, but he's reportedly told friends he would resign as a way to ease the pressure and protect his fellow officers. Wow. Well, that's WSA 9 News for tonight.
Thanks for staying up with us. Letterman is next. Stay warm.
Bye-bye.